Some really fast crews out there. Let's see who has the best race. They're prepared, so the only thing you can hope for is that they feel like they get their best effort.
Clean start, fair start across the board for Harvard, Princeton, Navy, Cornell, Georgetown, and Pennsylvania in this third varsity lightweight 8 grand final. It's a race for medals. Princeton surging, Harvard surging, Navy. We see the red unisuits of Cornell on the right side of the picture. Then it's over to Georgetown and Pennsylvania. And, well, too close for me to call, Dave. I'll let you do that.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, Harvard and Princeton at 45. They're both up there somewhere. It's inseparable pretty much. It's just an awful lot of momentum. A lot of yellow boats over on one side, some white boats over here. Penn seems to be doing really well in the early going. They were very good in this category all year long. Over in lane 6, they've got a good move going. They're right up there with Harvard. Then comes Princeton, Navy, Cornell, and Georgetown. So that's the order at 500.
Yeah, great first 500 for Pennsylvania. We see them on the bottom part of the screen and just edging themselves over from Harvard on the very, very far side up at the top, if you're looking at the screen.
You're right. It's probably going to be hard for their coxswain looking across to even see where they are because they've got 4 boats between them and the leading Harvard crew right now. Harvard probably has the lead and Penn another deck back, and then come in order, Princeton, Navy, Cornell, and Georgetown. So it's probably a third of a length separating lanes 1 from 2 and 2 from 3 and 3 from 4 and 4 from 5. Sort of a line across their bows, roughly a third to half a length between each of those boats. The outlier is Pennsylvania, who's still up into second place, maybe third, right there with Navy. They're fighting hard over in lane 6 with not much contact, not much sense of the race, if you will. I'm sure they wish they were over in lane 2 or 3 so they'd be more in the middle of it.
Yeah, those 2 top seeds, Penn with the second seed, so bottom part of your picture here, out ahead, and Harvard with the top seed. And as you perfectly described, Dave, several lanes in between them. They'll really need to rely on the coxswains to give them a fair assessment of exactly where they are, because their heads need to be just straight ahead to row as cleanly as possible. It looks like Penn, though, on the move, challenging Harvard.
Yeah, and that, it is about getting in your own best race. So staying inside the gunnels, knowing what you want to do as a crew, and just executing, that's going to give you your best opportunity anyway. Sometimes the pressure of being in a really tight race, like we saw earlier in the 4th varsity heavyweights, can really push you out on the rest of the competition. But other than that, the best race is what you can do internally.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And speaking of internal, it looks like Penn, that's exactly what they've done. Start now into, the last quarter or so of the race. Harvard on the hunt. We'll get a sense of margins in just a moment as they're changing stroke by stroke as we come into this very final stretch. But riding now with Penn, and Dave, Penn moving.
Well, Penn's got a good move going. I still think it's Princeton maybe in second, and Navy right up there with Penn. Penn's going to have to mount a big charge in the last 500 if they want to try to catch Harvard. Mm-hmm. They are a highly ranked crew. They were early on the dominant force in the 3rd varsity lightweights, but obviously other teams have improved. I think it's Harvard and Princeton now, 1 and 2, Navy in 3rd, Pennsylvania in 4th, then comes Cornell and Georgetown in that order. So the top 3 medals right now appear to be, at 500 meters to go, Harvard, Princeton, and Navy. Lanes 1, 2, and 3.
That's right, Pennsylvania, heartbreak, a little bit off the pace now as they lose what could be a spot on the podium. That means Navy putting themselves in what could be a bronze medal position. Princeton able to hold off Navy, was getting just a bit tight there about 20, 30 strokes or so ago. But looks like Princeton now looking to track down Harvard. Can they do it? Time is running out.
Princeton has the best shot of challenging Harvard, no question about that. And that's always a grudge race. Princeton just within a length of Harvard, and they have maybe 250 meters to make that up if they want to take gold. Harvard trying to hold them off. Harvard on the lead, Princeton in silver position, Navy looking for bronze.
Navy, we saw a little look from the stroke seat over his right shoulder to track down where Princeton is, but it'll take a lot of work, I'm afraid, to pull up even with them, but putting themselves still in that podium position at the moment and holding on to it. It looks like Princeton could be able to hold off that charge from Navy, no doubt about it, though. Up at the top, it's Harvard. Harvard with just a touch of an open water advantage as they come into the very closing stages of the race's final few strokes. It is Harvard to take the gold in the grand final for the third varsity lightweight 8, followed by Princeton, Navy with the bronze, and a surging Cornell just next to them.
Yeah, Cornell mounted a great sprint at 42 strokes a minute to cut into the lead, but it just wasn't enough to get them on the podium.